Welcome to Pro Tips number 49, where similar to last year, when we come to the end of the year, I like to do a review or a look back at what we've been producing the last year, and specifically what you found the most interesting. So if you happen to miss one of the Pro Tips that we released this year, this is a good way to get you an overview of the most popular ones and which ones you might want to check out. To start with, the most popular Pro Tips of this year was the one about exposing network interface uplinks. The Pro Tip itself, it covers basically how you can take any switch, and where usually it says on a switchboard, it says uplink if there's more than 4, I believe, devices linked to that specific network port. It'll show as uplink. You can change that number somewhere in the settings so you can always see the full overview of all the devices that are linked to one specific network port, regardless of how many there are. Even if you have 20 or more devices linked to one network port on a switch, or on a virtual network port, or whatever it might be, you'll get the full overview. That also cascades down. That also helps you in diagrams, because obviously if you get that information exposed, that will also help you in creating diagrams, because then Lansweeper knows that those connections are there, and therefore it's able to also create the diagram in a more complete way. So that was the most popular one. Second to that is one that I spent a lot of time on. It was the Pro Tip that covered the integration, or the custom integration that I made between Lansweeper, the on-prem version, and the Devolutions Remote Desktop Manager. So I created some custom scripts and showed you basically how you can import all of your Lansweeper assets into Devolutions Remote Desktop Manager, and how you can make sure that your IP locations, I think it was IP locations, are also taken with those assets, so that they're in Devolutions Remote Desktop Manager. They're also grouped by IP location, so that you can use the Remote Desktop Manager to create remote connections. One very interesting kind of evolution from that is that after I created the Pro Tips, I also got in touch with the people over at Devolutions. They were very interested in adding Lansweeper as a built-in integration for their product. And it so happened to be that this last week, they finished their integration, they launched it. So you can see also, if you go over to their blog and over to their website, you'll see that they've launched their integration. If you have Devolutions Remote Desktop Manager, you can also go into the product, assuming you have the latest version, and create the integration there. Here on their blog, you can see that they've kind of show off the integration. Basically, they've taken what I did and made it a lot easier to set up. It also obviously syncs all the assets. You can see here that the key benefits basically is that you can import all your assets from Lansweeper. It synchronizes the assets as well. So if you do rescans, if data gets updated, obviously it needs to be synced down to the Remote Desktop Manager as well, so that all the information that you do have in the Remote Desktop Manager tool is up to date about your assets, and that all your assets are in there. And then you also can view more information about the assets directly inside of the Remote Desktop Manager tool in their IT Asset Management tab. And they do show you also with some GIFs and videos on the blog itself, kind of what it looks like, how you configure it, etc. So if you're interested in getting this and using Remote Desktop, the Devolutions Remote Desktop Manager for your assets, and you also have Lansweeper, you can now either choose. You can follow my Pro Tips if you are only using the on-prem version. If you want to do it a little bit more, or a little bit simpler and a little bit easier, you can connect the Remote Desktop Manager with your Lansweeper site as well, and that way it's a little bit easier and automated on that front. The third most popular Pro Tips of this year was the one that I did just after the whole hype with AI started. I did a Pro Tip with regarding reporting in your Lansweeper site in combination with ChatGPT, and how you can use that to basically help you create custom reports and the more advanced reports, which basically boil down to you take whatever reports is a good starting point for you. You take a look at the code, you can copy that code, feed it to ChatGPT, and ask it to do modifications, and it's pretty good at doing those modifications, and then you can simply copy it back into the Lansweeper site report builder to create your more customized reports or your more custom reports with modifications or things that you cannot do at the moment with the graphical interface. Following that is, and the last one that I'm going to cover for this time is the one that we did previous month. So the previous month was the first time that Jacob, that joined my team, created his own pro tip, which is all about the importance of asset classification, where he went into detail on how you can use custom fields to add important information to your assets and use those custom fields to then report on to better classify your assets. We gave a few examples being, for example, if you do have PRTG and you're monitoring specific assets, creating a custom field that lists whether that device is being monitored by PRTG or not, and then reporting on it so you can get an overview of which devices might not be monitored, which ones are. And you can use that in combination with additional custom fields like which environment are those machines in. Is that a machine in a production environment or in a test environment? And depending on those kind of combinations, you can create reports that show you which machines you need to take action on. Maybe you have a couple of machines in a production environment that aren't being monitored by PRTG. And if you have the combination of those two things, you can very easily find devices that need action or that you require to be changed in some way. Lastly, one thing to mention is that we just wrapped, or I just wrapped up looking at the content survey that we sent out. So you might have seen that over the last month, we've been sending out a content survey about all the content that we create here. To get your feedback on not only whether you like the content that we create, but whether it's relevant enough, what channel you like to receive the content through, but also how frequently, and if there are any topics that you'd like us to take a further look at or to pick up next year. So to quickly talk about what came out of that, it was quite obvious that you prefer, or that you like the content that we create now, which is nice to see that it's valuable and that you guys appreciate all the content that we do create. There were a few things that came out of that survey that we're going to use towards the future. One of those things is that a lot of you indicated that you prefer to get your communication via email. So we're definitely going to take a look towards the next year, how we can use email to get you that content, but not spam you in any way, but that we can kind of target it better so that we're not sending out mass emails. Obviously, we want to get you the content that is relevant to you, but then via email. Other channels you obviously preferred, or there was a good preference for the in-app notifications that we already send, as well as the Lansweeper community. We do post our content as well on the Lansweeper community there, so if that's your preferred way of keeping up to date with the content, it's also posted in there. Another thing, the preference went to getting content weekly. So we'll try, and we're definitely going to keep that in mind when we schedule our content and how many pieces of content we send out over a specific duration of time. We're going to try and stick with that. Once a week, maximum you get that content. That seemed to be the preference from the survey as well. Other things that came out of that is in regards to what type of content. Written was preferred, with short videos and infographics being a close second. So I don't really think there's anything we're going to change on that front. We already have a good mix of that. Most of our content is written, and we do these kind of videos relatively often. And we heard from a few people as well that we don't do that many webinars. So we're definitely going to continue to advocate for the webinars that we do create, specifically the ones that are aimed at letting you ask questions, teaching you things, and not the ones obviously that are aimed towards upselling or selling you Lansweeper, because most likely if you're watching this, you already own Lansweeper, so we don't need to sell it to you anymore. So we're definitely taking a look at expanding that and making sure that for the existing customer base, there are webinars that are useful and where you can kind of get a lot of value out of them. The Last thing maybe to mention there is that I did also take a look at all of the comments that came in through the survey as well. I want to thank you all, or everyone that participated, for all the topics that you suggested. So it was very interesting to see what kind of topics people were suggesting for content that they would like to see. There's quite a lot of people that asked for more kind of best practices. That topic was quite varied, but I'll take a look at all of those. Quite a number of people who wanted more security things or more security-focused things. There were a few in there that also hinted at AI, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that and see how we can use AI in Lansweeper, not only in the product, but also how we can use AI to kind of showcase how you can use AI in combination with how you use Lansweeper to kind of improve your efficiency in using Lansweeper or managing your IT in general. So that's pretty much the content wrap-up for 2023. So again, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for filling in that survey. It really helped a lot to guide us and to show us kind of what your preferences are. And as I mentioned, we are taking that feedback and we're going to implement it so that we can provide you with the most valuable content that we can give to you, basically. So with that, I want to thank you for watching and happy holidays, and I'll see you next year.